I love this game so much, and I'm about to be covering every aspect of it that I love in this video, starting with the dialogue. The dialogue in this game is not at all bad. It's great even. The game's dialogue is often clever and doesn't play too much into itself. It doesn't overstay its welcome when it makes some corny jokes, because it's a kid's game, it's gonna be corny jokes. But there are other times where it's just downright poetic, and we're gonna be talking about some of those moments here. But we're also gonna talk about all the little aspects that come together to give this LEGO game such dimension. 122 subscribers at the time of this video, and you could be the 123rd if you press that button quickly. But yeah, subscribe, we don't got that many. In the first mission, Sandman, the craziest part of this game is that Sandman's jokes are the worst jokes that you will hear throughout the entire thing. There are types of jokes that you appreciate because they're funny, and there's the type of jokes that you appreciate because they're clever. Sandman's jokes are none of these, usually because they're just bland puns, like, I hope you didn't drop the time, and then like a clock would fall or something like that. We've got the body language emitting from these Lego creatures is incredible. Look at this awkward exchange right after the Doc Ock fight.
Go find out.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Richards. Fantastic.
Dr. Richards. Sir. Director Fury needs you and Kat back at the lab.
I need to know more about these special bricks and what they can do.
Then let's try to figure that out. We've got to. Because with great power comes great responsibility.
He's gone to the Oscorp building.
What would Green Goblin want in a totally legitimate and entirely unsuspicious office tower like Oscorp?
They always keep the references clear. Clarity is something that a lot of kids, what I mean by clarity is like, how clear is it to the child playing the game? And the clear reference they're making here is to Harry Osborn, the Green Goblin. They know. The little nuances in the voices. You understand the vibe they're giving off? You understand what they mean? You understand what they're trying to do, what they're trying to convey? The physicality of these movements, it adds all the more, it's like the soul of this game. Without it, I mean, of course they'd all be T-posing this one for this, but yeah. And those walking animations, every character has a different one, or at least most. There's enough different walking animations in the game that make you feel like each character is like, it just fits, you know? Now, Lego Tony Stark is much different than live action Tony Stark. Live action Tony Stark is more dismissive of others, while Lego Tony Stark is just, well, there's a little bit of that, but nowhere as much as Robert Downey Jr.'s performance. The Lego version embraces more of his ridiculous aspects, as they do with every character. But the amount of jokes poked at Tony Stark and his image in this game is unprecedented. It'd probably show you a good amount right now, and I'm not even talking about them. And every now and then, when you're just spamming, you know, this game is basically a beat 'em up in a way. It's like, it's better than a beat 'em up. Not entirely, but it gets better than that. The motions that the characters do, it just looks beautiful. Like, it really feels like I'm beating the crap out of just random civilians. Yes, that is something you can do. And yes, they do die, but they don't die in the second game. That's one of the many reasons why the second game sucks. But it's so much fun to swing around New York City as Spider-Man or dash towards civilians with Thor's hammer. The possibilities were endless. How Iron Man walks like a robot, like this is beautiful. Or Bruce Banner's like timid, scared demeanor when he's just like standing there, like dude, it's amazing. And those little animations. I'd say when it comes to physicality, the top tier of this, the character that has the best of this has to be Mr. Fantastic. I swear, throughout the entire game, he has the best interactions, the best one-liners. It's too good. There's a scene where he makes himself into a parachute.
I saw this in a movie once.
And then he goes, I saw this happen in the movie once. And it's great because it's a great reference because these kids know what The Incredibles are. They've seen The Incredibles. That's why it's so good. It's not just some random like, oh yeah, I'm Scarface. Like, no one's gonna understand. They did the references for the kids. It was for the kids, man. This game, a lot of Lego games like to not have dialogue. You know, a lot of people are Lego game purists where they don't want there to be dialogue at all or voice acting. They like to, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but the heart and soul of this game, it adds so much more when there's words being said. This is actually the worst boss fight in the game, but the music tricks you into thinking that it's not that bad. And the music. If it weren't for the music, this game, oh my gosh. The Juggernauts and Crosses boss fight, oh my gosh. And the cinematography, it's so splendid. Like, during the fight, the camera will change, and you're still controlling your character. And, okay, on paper, that doesn't sound so crazy, but when you pair it with that music and this action sequence, it had me wishing that this would happen in Iron Man 3. and something similar did happen, but it wasn't as spectacular as this. A remix of the racing minigame from the same game play in the background of this fight is probably the most insane creative choice I've ever seen. While the writing for the Mandarin is some of the best in the game.
You should have anticipated this, Doc. Heroes, there is still no such thing. You could never conceive of my vision for mankind. Now I shall turn your own weapons against you. Get them!
While all these elements come together to form an epic experience, and that's not even the best of it.
It's time to teach you so-called Avengers a lesson.
Enough, Tangerine. I'm just tired of it.
While you fight hordes of Aldrich Killian's followers that also have fire powers, because of course they do. And I've been talking about Unity, but I haven't actually been talking about the actual player. When I'm on the sticks doing this, I feel like I am Captain America taking down this entire horde. It's amazing, an amazing feeling. A feeling that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy to die without having. After you take out Aldrich Killian, you only have the Mandarin to take out, in which he has found himself in the Hulkbuster armor. Jarvis then initiates House Party Protocol, which makes every suit of armor in Stark Tower and start shooting at the nearest target, which would usually be some big thing attacking New York, but this time it's the Mandarin. After he's been worn down, they set off an EMP to make sure he's dead, and they burn a hole in the back of the suit and drag him out. Rebooted, resuited. And kind of beautiful because it's literal in the way that they reboot the system, but this also seems like to be like a reboot of the story, like a kind of course correction. I just realized how crazy it is that it shows your money while you're in a regular level. Like, you can't even spend any money on anything in a level. Pocket watching to another degree.